I could stare at this forever. It's so pretty. And then pinky pointing again, bringing that back. Hey guys, welcome back. So I've got my review for you today on the Urban Decay Vice 4 palette. So I am super excited to do this review on this palette because I love Urban Decay. I get so excited about their new palettes. And we're going to talk about all the normal things that we do in my review videos. We'll look at the packaging, we'll talk about pricing, look at swatches, we'll talk about the formula. I will show you side by side with the other Vice palettes, and then I'll just give you my overall review on this palette. So let's jump into it. So the price of this palette is $60. I purchased mine off of Urban Decay's website, but then it's also on Sephora's website, and on there it says Sephora exclusive. So I'm guessing it's just going to be available from Urban Decay's website and then also from Sephora. So as far as the packaging goes, it is amazing. This one has to be my favorite of all the Vice palettes. I love this packaging. So even the outside box is really cool. Just this really neat like duochrome sort of web design. Really beautiful. And then on the back you can see all the different shadows that you get in the palette. So even the outside box is beautiful. And then you get a little makeup pouch, which is really nice. And this is more of like a silvery sort of web design. And then on the back it says Beauty with an Edge, which is adorable. And that's so like Urban Decay in a sentence. That just sums up their brand. That's why I love that brand so much, because they're just a really beautiful makeup brand, but they're kind of edgy and funky, and that's why I love them. So I love that they added that little detail on there. And then the actual palette, oh, this is amazing! Is it not? Oh, this is so pretty. So it's like a web design that's actually raised. Like this is actually raised off of it. It's not just a picture, and there's like a black web behind it, and then these little pieces come off of the palette, and it's like blue and purple, but then it reflects the light and it catches it, and it's a little bit more on the turquoise and pinky side. It is beautiful. I love it. The back is pretty basic, but the front is just like, I could stare at this forever. It's so pretty. And it does come with a dual-ended brush, which is purple, so it matches, which is really cute. And their brushes that they include are always really nice. Like they're always soft and good quality, and so they're not just throwaway brushes. They're actually good, usable brushes. This is a magnetic closure on this palette. And then when you open it up, as far as the collection of colors that you get in this palette, it really is pretty much a colorful sort of palette, which is always the way the Vice palettes are. They're just kind of like a hodgepodge of different sort of shades. So they usually have some neutrals in there, which this one does too, but then a lot of fun, just creative sort of colors. So this one is no different. It has that same sort of theme. Some neutrals thrown in, but then a lot of fun colors. And you have mattes, you have shimmers, you have metallics, you have some glittery shades. It's all in here. You've got just so much variety in this palette. Okay, this is going to be a little bit interesting to show you the comparisons, but I want to show you side by side. So on the top, this is Vice 1, and on the bottom is Vice 4. So there's the comparison of those two. Here is the Vice 2. So the Vice 2 is on the top and the Vice 4 is on the bottom. So there is that comparison. And then this one is the Vice 3. So the Vice 3 is on the top, and then pinky pointing again, bringing that back, and then the Vice 4 is on the bottom. So here is this comparison. Okay, so now we're gonna get into some swatches. So I'm gonna start on the top row of the palette, the top left side. So this one is Bones. This is Grip. Grip doesn't swatch super well, so you kind of have to build that one up a little bit. This one is Deadbeat. I am wearing this a little bit on my outer corner just to kind of darken that up a little bit. This one is Beatdown. I'm also wearing this one on my outer corner. And then this one is Pandemonium. This is a beautiful, kind of like plummy, purpley shade. I love that one. Gorgeous. And then this second row is like amazing. It's just like gorgeous, pinky, wine, burgundy, purpley amazingness. I just love it. Oh my gosh. Okay, this one is Framed. This is Fastball, 1985, Underhand, and Harlot. Look at that color. What? And this pink, oh my gosh. Those are all just like so nice and metallic. I love this row. Can you tell? I love it. It's amazing. And then this row is another one of my favorites. If you love green, this is the row for you, because look at that amazingness. Okay, So this one is Discrete Grasshopper, C Note. This one is Arctic. I'm wearing this one on my lid and a little bit of this one on top of it so you can see what those look like. And then this last one is Robbery. Oh, I love that one too. Yeah, these all swatched amazingly. This is kind of like a really cool, like just matte cement color. So it's another good kind of blending sort of crease color. Really, really nice. But those greens, what? They're amazing. So metallic. And then this is the last row. We have some amazing shades on this row, and then we also have some problem shades on this row. Okay, so this first one is Bitten, a beautiful matte, great texture. This is definitely a win. This one is Flame. It is beautiful. I mean, look at it. It is so gorgeous. It's like a coppery color with a lot of kind of red tones in it and peachy shades. It's amazing. It is a little crumbly, so you kind of have to be a little bit careful with it. It can have some fallout for sure, but it's not impossible to work with. You just have to be a little bit careful with it. But when it builds up, I mean, it builds on itself so nicely and it looks amazing. These two are the ones with some issues. This one is Low and this one is Crowbar. So these two are both pretty chunky. And they have a lot of fallout and they don't have a ton of pigmentation. So you kind of have to build them on themselves, but you also have to be really careful with them because they have that fallout. So those are two kind of like, I'm not a fan of the formula of those in this palette. But then this one, this is Delete, and this is another amazing matte. So got some winners on this row, but also some kind of problems on this row. But this one, I mean, what? I just cannot get over that. That's amazing. And these are all supposed to be brand new shades, so we don't need to talk about repeats or anything like that because these are all supposed to be new in this palette, which is really nice. So as far as the formula goes on these shadows, other than those couple that had the kind of chunky glitter situation going on, I think the formula is really nice. The mattes are all really buttery and they blend really nicely, which is really important with mattes because you're likely using them as blending shades or in conjunction with your other shadows, so you really need them to blend nicely, and these really do. The metallics are all really nice and buttery. I love the formula on them. I think that the ones I've used, they all blended nicely together. They've worn really nicely. There is a little bit of fallout for sure, but it's kind of just like the typical Urban Decay shadow fallout. So if you've worked with Urban Decay shadows, this is kind of the same situation in that you don't need a ton of product on your brush, and I'm guilty of like taking my, my shadow brush and like going to town and then remembering, oh, I don't need to do that with Urban Decay shadows. And then I end up with fallout because I have too much product on my brush. So don't get a ton of product on your brush, tap off your brush, and you should be fine. Other than those couple of like chunkier shadows, those are the ones that have a little bit more of the fallout situation. But the other ones is just kind of more the typical Urban Decay fallout situation. So I really like the formula on them. I think it's really great. So my overall review on this palette is that I really love it. I'm so excited about it. You know, it's hard to say like which Vice palette is my favorite because I kind of have like certain shades in each one that I really love, but I'd say overall impression, this one might have to be my favorite, and I think a lot of it might be this amazing packaging. It's just so gorgeous, but I also really love that kind of pinky row and that green row. I mean, there's just some really beautiful shades in this palette. So I love it. I'm really enjoying it, and I would highly recommend it. All right, guys, so that's my overall review on the Urban Decay Vice 4 palette. So I hope that you really enjoyed this video, and I hope it was helpful for you. Please give it a thumbs up if it was, and let me know down below what you are thinking about this palette. Have you gotten it already? If so, what do you think about it? Are you eyeing it? Do you have the other Vice palettes? Do you like them? What do you think about them? I just always enjoy hearing your thoughts and opinions. Ask me any questions that you have. I'm happy to answer those. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll see you in my next video.